Hi students, very good afternoon. Welcome to Unacademy YouTube. I hope you guys are doing good. Let me quickly start my. All right. So today we're going to do the terms and concepts and their use in sociology in one shot. I know that we have done this chapter previously, but most of you guys have your coming exams, and few of you already have asked me to do this one more time for you. So I thought let's not do any delay and quickly do a quick revision on the same. All right. So I hope it help you guys and feel free to ask any questions. So I hope I'm audible and visible both. Okay, very quickly, before we start, let me just give you certain facets about your educator. My name is Professor Urmi Chakravorty. I am your plus educator for CBSE Sociology and Psychology class 11th and 12th. Um, I'm a TEDx speaker. I'm a Vidar Babhushan awardee. I'm an educator more than 10 years, and most of you guys know me. For anybody who is new and who is recently joined, I welcome you on board, and I hope you have a great learning uh, time with us. And feel free to ask any questions, guys. I'm all here here to answer. Very quickly, let me just give you a few Plus subscription features on Plus. Most of you are already on Plus. Few of you have already taken the referral code and got on board and have joined a few of my special classes also. Anybody who is yet to, an academy has got class 11th and 12th humanities. Yes, the very beautiful part about this entire thing is you can just sit back at your home, relax in the comfort, and watch out for the sessions. You have unlimited access to all the courses. Okay, you will be having doubt clearing sessions after every fourth class is a doubt clearing session where you can just ask questions related to sample papers, related to something which is something which is there in your school or which you're still not sure about. Anything you can just ask. You would get mentorship and guidance, and you will get the top educators, of course, on board. uh, we would be having certain daily practice sections. With practice sections, we would be also having the mock series, and there is one very new thing, which is the live quiz, which is already on for all the subjects. Okay. One beautiful thing which Unacademy has launched recently is the personal mentor and parent interaction with each other through the Unacademic iconic subscription feature. I think this is a phenomenal thing where anybody or any slow learners who need more attention. Okay, of course, all the educators in their special classes or plus, they give you equal attention without being partial, and as many as times you want to ask a question you can. But this is one thing in which the parents are pretty skeptical that no, we need a personal tutor, we need somebody who can just mentor one to one on the basis of live doubt clearing, weekly report and access to what you have done. All the benefits of plus are there on this. Live classes from top educators, mock test, quiz. Okay, structured batches are there with your exam syllabus, so you can just go ahead and have a look at it. Of course, you can use my referral code and get a subscription here. So that's Urmi Life, and you can get a straight 10% discount on whatever subscription you take. 11th and Science and Commerce syllabus, complete syllabus batch is already on, which is commenced. Okay, so this is one thing which I would like to inform you guys. If you're yet to subscribe, exams are very near. Don't lose the opportunity of learning from the best in the best possible way you can. English and Hindi batches for humanities are on. Of course, Let's Crack final exam is for 11th. You can see my pictures there. I am going to take the sociology. I have already started taking it. We have commenced the batch from 1st of October. That's me. Also for class 12th, for sociology and psychology both, the batches are commenced. Now my photograph is there. Geography, history, economics, socio, English, political science, all the batches are already commenced. Okay, you can just go on the Unacademy app, and apparently if you haven't taken the subscription, you can just simply go and get yourself enrolled to the batch and take a subscription. And if you're yet to watch the special classes, then go ahead and watch the special classes. They are absolutely free, 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 free. Don't miss the chance, because opportunities wait for none. So just go ahead and grab your opportunity very quickly. All right. Uh, Test series, yes. If you ask me, ma'am, humanities, is it coming? Ma'am, commerce, is it coming? Yes, it's coming for all. And very soon you can just check it on the learning app. We will make sure that you get it ASAP, okay, on the top priority. So it's just there on the class 11th. So you can see this is class 11th for 11 standard. And this one is for class 12, as we have mentioned in the arrows. One thing which is fabulous, which is recently launched, is my personal favorite. That's the Creative Corner. And why this is my favorite is because right from doodling to robotics to learning new skills to origami, I think all of them are there. And you can learn whatever you want. And how you can get an access, you can simply just subscribe to the plus platform of CBSE Goal. Anything, any goal from class 6 to class 12, for all the 6 year, the batches are there. Magic tricks, debating, mnemonics, everything is there. You say it, you name it, and we have it. Like I told you that we have a plus and an iconic subscription which is there. So the basic plan to get started is the plus, in which you will get these features. Iconic is also there. In iconic there are a few things which are extra, and they are the personal mentor, parent connect, study planner, and the doubt clearing sessions, or the solutions, okay, that you will come across. So you can just go ahead and have a look at it. Very simply, there are different plans, right from first month to 24 months. Whichever you find suitable or apt, you can probably, this is for class 11th and 12th, from 1, 3, 6, 12, 18, or 24, whichever you use. You can just use my referral code and put it here, and you get a straight 10% discount. Similarly, for the new iconic subscription also, you can use the code and get a 10% discount. The new craziest thing, which is just few days to go, the All India Championship, which is the Unacademy Ascent for class 6 to 12. And as you can see, the figures on your screen, this is not a small amount. So enroll for the All India Championship and stand a chance to win a scholarship worth rupees 5 lakhs every month. Okay, I repeat, rupees 5 lakhs every month. So why are you waiting? Just go ahead and check it, guys. Come on. There are few new batches which are going to start from the November 2nd. Okay. They are going to be called the prime batch. Okay, this one is for science final examinations. As you can see, it would be Monday to Friday, because we would be having a batch from 2nd of November to the end date 31st of November. That's the duration again for 3 months. So this is basically to we have discussed about it previously in the chapter, that what has introduced us to the idea about society as well as sociology. When we say sociology, we think it's something to do with society, which is correct. Sociology is the way of studying society, human behavior, interacting with people, knowing about them, uh, having families, being a part of them, being a part of discussion, being a part of the fights, landing up in conflicts, and all these things. Okay, for example, we may feel that since we live in families, we know everything about them. It's not the thing like here, okay, like this. So basically, this would be conflating or equating sociological knowledge with common sense. Now, this we have discussed in the first chapter, that is sociology and society. Okay, that sociology, or the study of society, is not limited to common sense. We think, okay, this is basic sense. You know, ये तो पता ही होगा यार, ये तो common sense है. It is not like that, because it is more than common sense, and it is way beyond the same. Okay, sociology needs to have a special set of terms. Okay, for example, you say, what is your name? Why do I need a name? Because that shows my identity. Similarly, in sociology, you need to have a special set of terms which you use in terms of expressing your identity and what characteristic or features you have. Okay, so sociology needs to have special set of terms. When we use the terms like status, roles, social control, anyway in our everyday life. When I say everyday life, you really need to understand that it is not limited to one facet. It will have many things to it. Okay, it can be being in a joyous company, it can be a fight, it can be rough times, it can be patches, everything. Now status, or we can say roles, or in society, are very different and to each other. It's not the same, it is very much different as a discipline. um, Although there are many disciplines which are a part and parcel of sociology. How? You need to remember that you're well acquainted with institutions, okay, the social institutions. Now you will say, what, ma'am, what do you mean by the term social institutions? We have discussed about it. It can be family, it can be school, it can be marriage, it can be kinship. All these things come under social relationship or social institutions, okay? Now that surround us, we cannot see them clearly and precisely. Sometimes you just come across with experiences. Sometimes you tend to land in that place that, okay, somebody is telling you and you need to know about it. So both terms and the concepts are very important when you discuss about the same in different ways. Okay, why do you need the special terms and concepts in sociology? Boss, it is not just limited to sociology. You need terms and concepts in every discipline, but in sociology specifically. Why? Because we are relating it to anthropology, with other disciplines, and there are different concepts that arise in society. Okay, so however, just as there are different kinds of individual and groups in society, there are also different kinds of concepts and ideas. Everyone will not the same think the same way. They will have different ideologies, they will have a different thought process, they will function in a different way. And that, basically, sociology itself is marked by different ways of understanding, okay, and looking at things in more dramatic way. Sometimes with social changes, sometimes that has a modern period, or which is brought about, maybe different concepts, different thoughts. Okay, maybe for you caste is a common phenomenon, but for others it is not. I think then, maybe for you, maybe jati or varna is something which you never heard of, but for few people it is everything, because they function and they structure in that pattern. So that can be something which you can say has more significance, and it arises in such a way that the concepts arise in society. It plays a major role. All right. Now, why do you need to use the special concepts in sociology? Now, you have to listen, okay? First thing what we discussed is that what is the need to use the special terms? Second one is the terms and concepts in sociology. All right? So, this is the significance and this is why, okay? They also have a story to tell. They do. There are many incidents, many you know concerns which reflect people and their thought as a part and parcel. Okay, many of the concepts reflect this concern of social thinkers to understand and map. What do you mean by map? To structure it, one after one, in this way, in this manner, in this direction. It can be anything. It can be from the shift from the pre-modern to the modern entailed. Okay, instances, you can sociologists observe that simple, small scale and traditional societies were more marked by the face-to-face interaction. There are different ways. I told you, it matters from one to another. There can be large groups, there can be modern ways of thinking, there can be say scale societies from a formal interaction, there can be informal interactions, they can be primary, they can be secondary. When I say formal, informal, formal can be very easily called, or you can give an example of school, where you have to follow a set of rules and regulation, norms and values. Or informal, you can say maybe a family, where you do not have to think so much while quoting yourself as a personal identity. Okay, they can be distinguished in different ways. Other concepts like stratification reflect the concern that sociologists in the understanding the structured inequalities. Now, when I say inequalities, again, it can be anything. It can be caste, it can be class, it can be qualities, it can be nature, it can be features, it can be characteristics, it can be thoughts, they can be anything. It can be gender, it can be maybe between the Brahmins or between the deprived classes, right? So, understanding the structured inequalities between groups in the society. Okay, stratification is another concept where we discuss certain, what do you call, facets of class stratification, differentiation from the rich to poor, from the top class to the one which is a normal one. And all these things happen when we discuss about it, when we speak about it. All right. So, this is a major aspect which we are going to study about today. Okay. All right. Any questions still here? Any questions or doubt? So, please feel free to ask. I'm here. If you have any questions, and don't worry, I can answer them. Just make sure that you. All right. Okay. Moving ahead, after inequalities, the next thing that comes to your mind is the concept, for example, such as status or roles. Okay, they begin with the individual. Okay, we have basically seen and we have even observed that how the early stage of sociology, you know when the emergence that were contrary and contesting understandings of society, that means simple facts. Earlier the concepts were very different. Now we have overcome certain hurdles. We have seen new things. We have come across you know more understanding towards what is society or sociology. Social solidarity, collective conscience. These are the key terms for Emily Durkheim. Okay, we have discussed who Emily Durkheim is. Now there are important point in this. that classifications and the types, okay, that we discuss in sociology help us and are tools through which we can understand the reality. What do you mean by tools? They are ways, they are ways through which you can have more focus and you can learn certain things in better way, in better manner. Okay. Now within sociology, some try to understand human behavior by starting with the individual. Please remember human behavior, and by starting with the individual. Okay, that is micro interaction. Now, when you're in a family, you tend to have a very micro interaction because it's face to face on one to one. But when you are in a school or in a major formal institution or a setup, maybe you're a college or a hospital or maybe a theater or somewhere in an office, that happens to be macro interaction. Why? Because it's bigger. you know Others begin with class, caste, okay, market, even community. That will not come in micro, that will be macro, because that concept is on a wider and a more broader angle, but micro is on a very smaller angle. Okay, now you have to understand concepts such as social control or stratification begin from a very larger context, uh, within which individuals are already placed. Why do you mean by within something which is individuals are already placed? Because social control, caste is something that you never know. When it's an inborn thing. You come, you have that, you're born into a family, you're born into a family. Later on, that depends on you whether you want to adapt some other culture or caste or not, or religion. But if you want to see on a larger context, individuals are already placed in these kind of certain concepts of statuses. It's a point, it's an important point of underclassification. Now, the point here which is important, that they have different types which we have discussed in sociology, and these are tools. But what becomes rusted or bent, what if that becomes rusted or bent, or maybe just it locks or fits in, maybe just for a same thing of understanding that you have a key and you have a lock, for some reason it's not opening. So uh, won't you just modify it? Will you just throw it by saying no, no, it's not working, it's dump, let's dump it? You cannot dampen some certain things, right? You have to probably keep changing or modifying the key. You try. Similarly, in sociology, we use both, also constantly interrogate and question the concepts and categories. If I say this is blue, this is black, you will not believe this is blue only, that's black only. You will ask why. You will say, okay, why not? So you have to interrogate or question the concepts and the categories, and that is where your introduction of sociology and the importance of terms and concepts come into picture. Very often there is considerable unease about the coexistence of different kinds of definitions or the concepts, or you can just say different view. है ना? People will have so different views about social entities. For example, conflict theory versus the functionalist theory. This chapter, if you want to say what is an important part, it is the conflict and the functionalist theory. That's all. This is the most important part of this chapter, the conflict theory and the functionalist theory. This multiplicity of approaches, which is particularly acute in sociology. Okay, for society itself, which is diverse. Yeah, society is not a small key thing. It has tremendous amount of other things which are included in it, which plays a major role. Different ways, different parts. Why, how, why diverse? What is the most important thing which is different here, and we can say that it is more focused or diverse. We would be discussing. Second important factor in this unit is your social groups and society. Okay, please remember the first that every society, whether ancient or feudal or modern, Asian or European or African, human groups and collectivities exist. Okay, it can be anything. It can be anything. Secondly, the types of groups and collectivities which are very different in different societies. Okay, maybe a Bengali has a different culture, a Gujarati has a different culture. Their community is different. These communities different. There are different collectivities. Sociology is the study of human social life. Sociology is the study of human social life. Now, there is a difference between sociology and social anthropology that we would be discussing in the later part. But A defining feature of human life is that humans interact, communicate, construct social collectivities. Okay, sometimes they differ in their opinion, sometimes they do agree. Okay, now the comparative or basically the historical perspective of sociology brings home two apparently innocuous facts. Now, what are the facts? And how can we read about it? How can we know more about it? First thing, any catch, when I say social group, any catch doesn't mean, any gathering doesn't mean that it will have a social group. Okay, maybe that you're just going to a place in a shop, there are so many people around, you will not say that we are a group. The term we will not come there. Okay, the term we will not come. So any gathering of people that does not necessarily constitute a social group, it can simply be known as aggregates, because they're not structured, because they do not share the common factor of the term we. It is just randomly that you have gone somewhere and there are more people as a part and parcel of that place. It is not called as a group. Okay, imagine you're on the bus stop waiting for a bus, you're sitting in an airport waiting for your flight to arrive, maybe to check in or to board the flight. It's not a group. You never say that, okay, yes, yes, we are boarding the flight. You say, yeah, I'm boarding the flight. Or if you have people with you in your family, you say, we are boarding the flight. Now these type of groups, what are they called as? They're called as aggregates. Aggregates are simply collections of people who are in the same place at the same time, but they share no definite connection with one another. Okay, so everybody in the airport, they have a flight to catch, but they do not have any relation with each other, where they just have a common agenda that they're flying, they're traveling. Hi Soumya, very good afternoon beta. So they're flying together. That's all. The agenda is that the aggregates, they are simply collection of a group in the same place, same time, but no definite connection with another. They're just flying. Simple facts. Now, they are also known as Khasi Groups. Okay, so a Khasi group is an aggregate or combination which lacks structure or organization. Please remember, when it is a group, it will have a structure. When it is a Khasi group, it will lack structure or organization, because imagine these people, they do not have a line, they do not have a queue, they do not know each other. They're just sitting there for some basic, maybe they're just waiting for a bus, maybe they're just waiting for water to come, and they will just go and pour the water and go back. Anything. Or maybe they're just migrants who are traveling from one place to another. These examples suggest what exactly is a Khasi group. And for example, individuals which are belonging to a particular social class or community, for example, tribals, or you can say, for example, the agrarian community who work for agriculture. So that's, agriculture is the only major agenda, but they do not have any structure, or they do not have any sort of built up or combination which will give them a certain amount of organized way or existence in their group. These are known as Khasi groups. Now, they may be yet to be infused with a sense of we. I just told you, sense of we. You say that, okay, I'm traveling, I'm flying, okay, I'm boarding the flight. You never say we. We is when you have people who of your own, who are a part of parcel of your group or a family. But when you're traveling alone in the airport, there are so many flying. Okay, so now this here you can say that, but class and caste have over a period of time given rise to the political parties. Absolutely. Likewise, people of different communities in India. Okay, now they also have had a long colonial struggle. Okay, developed as an identity for the community. Different people, different places, different ways, but a common future. How and why we have discussed in the Khasi groups. Different. Next thing which is very important in this unit is the women's movement. Okay, uh, this probably has brought the entire idea of a group of women and organization. Examples, what? See, now a social group can be at least said or have few characteristics in it. What are they? They can have interaction with continuity. Continuity is an important thing. It can have a stable pattern of these interactions. They can have a sense of belonging to identify the other members of the group. Okay, hi, hello, these are the people, we know them. They can have their own, what do you call, set of rituals or rules and regulations or symbols. They have shared interests. Maybe they talk something which is on a common agenda or a platform. Acceptance of common norms and values. Norms and values can be rules and regulations, simple set. A more definable structure. Now, in the Khasi groups, we did not have any definable structure. That's the difference between these two. Okay, that's the difference between these two when we discuss about it. Common ways. Social structure here refers to the patterns of regular and repetitive interaction between individuals or groups. What do you mean by repetitive, patterns of individuals or groups? Social group hence basically refers to collection of, you're interacting with people, you're sharing common interest with them, you're asking, you're debating, you're conflicting, you're discussing about culture, you're discussing about what are the new norms. Maybe you're discussing about the current ruling party, that what they have done, what they have not, certain things like this. Common interest, politics, common interest, a hobby, common interest, a community, a class, different agendas. Now, as I told you, there are two different types of groups. So, in most cases, the contrast in the manner that people from the groups in traditional and small scale societies of that of a modern and large scale societies. Now, what is the difference here? Primary are different, secondary are different, right? Now, community and society or association, which is in groups or out groups or maybe peer groups, they all are different. They might be somewhere or the other woven or interconnected, but they're very different from each other. How they are different? Primary and secondary groups. So, the groups which belong to not of equal importance to us, some groups which tend to influence many aspects of our life in our day-to-day life or activities, okay, or which bring us personal association with each other. So, the term primary refers to a small group, okay, which can have face-to-face association. Family can be very much primary. Face-to-face association, meeting your friends, meeting the people in your village, meeting the people in your family who are close knit. That can be major part. But secondary groups are very larger in size. Secondary groups, family will not be a part of secondary group because family is on a limited scale, one to one. You're eating together, you're sitting together, you probably sleep in under the same roof. Simple facts. But secondary groups are relatively large in size, maintain a formal and impersonal relationship. Okay, personal relationship in primary, impersonal in secondary. Okay, these are very goal oriented. For example, schools. What is the goal of the school? That all the kids will come to the school, they will study, they will get good marks, they get the certificate, they go back. Government offices, they are working, they have their deadlines, they work, they go. For example, take a bank. They open the bank, they invite people, the people come, get their jobs done, leave. Students association, they plan up something, have a leader, do things, get it done, finish. These are few examples of the secondary groups. What are the examples of primary? Simply family, village, or friends. They can be examples of the family, the primary group. What are the two types of group? Very simple. Primary, secondary. Primary is on a small scale, micro. Secondary on a bigger scale, or which is you can call as macro, sorry. So is this simple? Is this easy? Hi Richa, very good afternoon. Now, there are few things which are very important in this unit. In fact, in this entire course of class 11 sociology, to understand these words, that is social stratification, that is of course about the segmentation and division about class. Okay, next is status and role, that who plays what status and what is their role in the society or maybe in the family or how. And so society and society, so what do you call, social control. Control might have norms and regulation, policies, rules, laws, etc. Many things. It's a chain. So very quickly, the groups to that which we belong, not of all, is very important to us. Okay. So members of the family, village, or groups are the examples of primary group. I hope this concept is clear. Secondary, simple, large in size, maintain formal and impersonal relationship. Please remember the reason why I have highlighted it, because it is important. what is the difference between primary and secondary group, and you need to know this. Okay. I hope you have understood this, and I hope it is clear. Okay. Next up is the community or society or association. Now, the idea of contrasting the old traditional and agrarian way, please remember again agrarian. Whenever you see the word here, agriculture. Very simple fact. Okay. Life with the new modern and urban in terms of different, or in terms of their different contrasting. Guys, do you think that the people who stay in villages or people who stay in a very rural background will have the same lifestyle which people in the city or people who stay in the urban class will have? Absolutely not. They will have differences because these people are already adapted the modern style and technology, or maybe a contrast towards leading a life or looking at certain things in different ways and different angles. Simple facts. People, they have different lifestyles because they come from different backgrounds. So when I say community and society or association, first thing which focuses here is community, that refers to human relationship that are highly personal, intimate and enduring. Now maybe community would be a group of people from the same religion I belong to, same culture I belong to. Okay. And here your involvement is considerable, if not total, in family, friends or close knit as group. If you have an opinion, it will be taken because you're a part and parcel, or you're a member of that place or that community or the group. So the term community refers to the human relationship that are very personal. Simple facts. Now, so what we discussed right now was community. Okay, so what we discussed right now was community. What is the next one? Is society. Hi Priyanka. Next one, society. Society or association refers to everything opposite of community. Please remember, whatever you have studied here, your society and association is completely opposite to community. How? Now, in particular, the apparently impersonal, superficial, and transitory relationship of modern urban life. Commerce and industry require a more calculating, rational, and self interesting approach to one's dealing with others. What is it? You have contracts, we have agreements, we know each other, we try to draw a parallel line between community and primary groups, or the association with the secondary groups. But the term society and association definitely differs from community. Community is more of personal, these two are not. Community is about close knit relationship, these two are not. Community is very enduring and intimate, these two are not. So that is a most important difference between these two. And I hope it's clear for you guys. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. Any questions, guys? I can just check the comment section once. If you guys have any questions, please ask. All right, so as I can see, there are no questions. I can only see hi, hello, ma'am, and good afternoon. So we will move ahead, and I'm hope that you guys are understanding. Once again, any questions, any doubts, feel free to ask on the comment section. Okay, and yeah, if you have missed on any sessions or if you want me to take any specific chapter for you guys for class 11th, please put it on the comment section and I will definitely take it. Terms and concepts we had already done, but a few students had asked me to do a revision and one shot, so I have taken it today. If you have any questions or if you have any specific chapter which you want me to revise or put it across on YouTube, please let me know and I will surely get that for you guys. Okay, now what is the difference between in group, out group? Okay, sense of belonging is when you have a sense of comfort. You know that okay, this is mine, this is me, this can be done, all of it. This feeling separates us or we from them or they, you know. Children belonging to a particular school may form an in group and what do you call, as against those who do not belong to any school. Okay, maybe they all are going in a daycare. Let's take an example here of a simple daycare. Okay, now can you think of any such groups, whatever that comes to your mind, any of your groups which comes to your mind here, that okay ma'am, it can be like this. Come on, guys, you can answer. It's an easy thing. Any social groups that you come across, anything that comes to your mind. No? All right, okay, no problems. Moving ahead, simple fact, guys. See, when the students are going in a school together, they have a sense of comfort that okay, this is my school. Okay, Sam's vlog. This says school. Yes, school is a very good example. Like I told you that imagine the school students who go to a school together. Good answer, Sam's vlog. Very good answer. When they are going together, when they are meeting people, when they have friends, it gives them a sense of comfort and belongingness. Okay, it gives them a sense of what do you call, particular feeling of in group because they are a part of it. But on the other hand, out group is basically a group that they do not belong. Okay, the members of an out group can face hostile reactions from the member of an in group because they are different. Imagine you go for an inter school debate and you feel a part of your team, not others, because you don't know them. So the first time interaction is like you're from the in group, they're from the out group, you know. Or you can say migrants. Why? Because they are not the localites there. They're just belonging to some other places. And here, you know, even the actual definition of who belongs and who does not changes with the time and social context, which is a fact. Maybe that person was not a part of your in group, and suddenly he or she gets involved. Suddenly he or she gets into your group and is a part of it. Now, the well known sociologist M.N. Srinivas observed while he was carrying out a census in Rampura in 1948 that how distinctions were made between the recent and the later migrants. Migrants again was very clearly given and taken as an example, you know, that how, why, and what were the differences. So, this can be a simple example. Like Sam told, yes, school can be a very good example of the in group. Okay, what do you mean by reference groups? Okay, a reference group or any group for people who are always looking about or aspiring to be, maybe something which is influencing you, maybe something, the group which has a different sort of lifestyle, which is emulated or known as reference groups. We do not belong to our reference groups but identify ourselves to that group. Okay, like okay, I want to be like them. Okay, maybe I wish, maybe why not, what if I could have, all these things come into the term of reference group. What is it? about culture, about lifestyle, about aspiration, goals. Okay. So in the colonial period, many middle class Indians aspired to behave like proper Englishmen. They wanted to wear the same outfits these people do. These people did. They wanted to say have the same outfit or outlook of living life like them. They wanted to have the same outlook of eating what they did. Okay. But what happened? That this process was also gendered. This was gendered. The men dressed up, but they did not let the women to do it. The Indian women, Indian women remain the same. Saris, typical customs, typical rituals, all of it. So, our aspire to be a bit like proper English women also, but not quite like her. So they wanted the women to be like this, but they didn't want them to be like that person. So there was a contradictory statement here, and there's a very big paradox here, that they wanted also, they didn't want also, but the men did. The men wanted, they followed the process. And now you can see, when we spoke about inequality in the first two slides, it can be this, that this process was also gendered. Here we speak about a term again in the now you understand that why the terms and concepts are very important in the aspect of sociology, and how did they play a major role. Okay. Now, what do you mean by peer groups? All right. What do you mean by peer groups? Peer, people who are of the same age, sometimes friends, sometimes who are just usually formed between individuals who are of the similar age group. Okay. Or you can say common professionals, maybe in an office, people who work with me can be my peers. Schoolmates, your friends who travel with you in the bus or in this class, or sitting with you or studying with you in a tuition or sharing the same platform, can be peers. Okay. Now, peer pressure refers to the social pressure exerted by one's peers to out or not to do. Maybe you have a friend who's very smart, having a very good phone, and you come and you have this peer pressure, and you're like, I also want that. Maybe you're influenced with the different sort of lifestyle which that person is leading, in different ways, in different angles, in different concepts. Peer pressure can be one of them. Stratification. Okay. The entire chapter, there was one unit of stratification which they have removed. Otherwise you would have known that what are the different concepts which you're going to focus and study in social stratification. This refers to the existence of structured inequalities, again, between the group and the society. Now, in terms of their access to material or to symbolic rewards, what is it? It can be very easily defined as the structural inequalities between groups or people or individual, who can be compared by the type of strata. Society can be, compared by the type of strata, which also means status. Okay. Now, on the top scale, there will be people who would be rich and will be favored, and here it would be people who would not be. So when I explain this in my class, I just simply tell you guys to make a triangle, because it's there even in your book. Okay. So this is social stratification. That maybe, let's take the rich here and the poor here. Maybe you can say the Brahmins are here, or maybe you can say the deprived classes are here. That is how it goes. Society can be seen, as consisting of strata in the hierarchy, with the more favored at the top, less privileged at the bottom. So this is how it is. It is how the life goes on, and this is how pre-colonial period to post-colonial period times have changed. Of course, the facets have changed, but there's one thing which remains constant, is the hierarchical pattern. Now, inequality of power and advantage is central for sociology. Why? Because of the crucial place of stratification in the organization of a society. Please remember, guys. So, basic terms or basic systems of stratification, they have existed since a long time, in terms of slavery, caste, okay, in terms of estate, in terms of inequality, in terms of individuals who are literally owned by others. You can say peasants. You can say the peasants. Land, they were farming, they were not able to do it, they worked for somebody else, their land, somebody else's name, somebody else's, gained the popularity of owning that. All of these things have happened. Now, stratification has also given opportunities to many, good health facilities to many, educational successes, fulfillment in work, political influence, but they are unequally distributed in many systematic or unsystematic ways. Why? Because every aspect of life of individual or the household is affected by stratification about the way the entire process goes on. Okay, caste. First thing is caste plays an important role. But of course, it is an ascribed thing. Now, what do you mean by an ascribed thing? From the birth itself, because my parents are Bengali, I'm born and brought up in a Bengali family. I cannot say, no, no, I don't want to be Bengali, I want to grow as a Punjabi. I don't want to be go a Punjabi, I want to be a Christian. Adapting and taking a religion later on is a different thing. But what you have right from the beginning is known as an ascribed status. Okay? Now, this is not to say that in a class society there is no systematic constraint on achievement imposed by the status or as a race or gender. Status attributes ascribed by birth in caste society that defines that as an individual your position is more what you call completely than do what people do in a class. As an individual, you're born and brought up with that. What you decide is up to you. You know. So in traditional concepts of India, castes or different castes are definitely formed by a hierarchical a hierarchy of social prejudice or precedence, not prejudice, precedence. Okay, four varnas. I remember I told four varnas. It would be Brahmins, it would be Kshatriyas, it would be Vaishyas, and it would be Shudras. Simple way of explaining and remembering this concept. Okay, now in reality, there are also innumerable occupations which are based on class groups, which is basically known as jatis. Okay, which is known as jatis. Now, the caste system in India has definitely undergone and considerable changes over the years. Why? Because endogamy and ritual, avoidance of contact with members of so-called lower class castes and systems. Okay, different people have different ways had tried to bring a changes which are being brought by urbanization inevitably challenge this. One of them was the sociologist A.R. Desai's observation about status and role, that these two are different concepts. Status and role are often seen as twin concepts. A status can simply be a position of a society in a group or, a society. Whereas for others, he said the role and a dynamic of the behavioral aspect of status. For him, role of status and role were different. Okay, now it is a role that has become regularized, more standardized, more formalized, in a simple pattern, way out, and can have it in any of the specific associations or society. Different ways, different formats, different patterns. Okay, society and social control. Now, this is most generally used concept in sociology. We have to discuss why. Okay, because this refers to various means in which unruly members are back into line. Collectivities like class, caste, religion, status, race. Okay, now there are different views, two views: conflict, functionalist. Conflict, functionalist. For a functionalist perspective, control refers to the use of force to regulate the behavior of an individual, or maybe in a group, or refer to enforcing the value or the pattern of maintaining something in order of society and follow the orders. Okay, whereas the conflict theories or the theorist basically, what he's trying to say, that social control in the process is just referring to social process. The techniques and strategies in which behavior or individuals or a group are regulated refers to the both, use of force to regulate the behavior, or refers to enforcing the values and patterns of maintaining the order in society. Simple ways: functionalist, socialist, conflict, sorry, functionalist, conflict. These two are very important. Okay. Once again, please remember these two are very important. So read it properly. I have written it here. Uh, Go and check the plus classes. You will also come across the notes. Download the PDF. That is going to help you guys. Okay. Social control, simple way. It can be formal, it can be informal. I told you, formal can be, different ways of society, school, institution. Informal can be a family. Hi, Sonali. I'm good. I'm good. How are you, beta? I'm absolutely doing great. Thank you. Okay. So, but however, in some classes or some cases, please remember that informal methods of social control may not be adequate in enforcing the conformity. Okay, for example, um agencies of informal social control can be religion, kinship, family can be one of them. So it depends. It is variance from one to another. Okay, it can be positive as well as negative. It can be very well deferred in terms of deviance. It can be the different form of common sense. Okay, all right. Specific terms and concepts discussed in this chapter will basically help you to further move towards a sociological understanding of society, because you will be studying about what happened post pre-colonial period, what happened pre-colonial, what happened post-colonial, what sort of concept of modernization has got into picture, how, all these things. Okay. Okay, so there is a question. What, once again, ma'am, what does discrimination on race, okay, what does discrimination on race means? But a racial discrimination basically is against the basis of skin color. People basically try to do racialism in terms of ethnic origin. Okay, individuals can basically discriminate by refusing to work with you, to be with you, to socialize, to share resources. So I think race or ethnicity is most about prejudice discrimination. Okay, it is about people who are from different people, what do you call color, different countries, different places, different cities, different interests. Okay, and discrimination means treating a person very unfairly because of who they are, or because they possess certain characteristics. I think, yes, I got it. So discrimination on race is absolutely about what they are. Okay, and what they come from, and not accepting. Okay, now, like treating a person very unfairly just because of who they are, because what they possess. Okay, so it's like certain characteristics you may be discriminated against. Now, race, if you want to say, it is just a group of human beings based on some physical or social inequalities, okay, social qualities, which is categorized into generally viewed as distinct by society. Okay, now this refers to your uh, religion, race, conformity, being with people, and all of it. So discrimination can be, yes, discrimination on race. Discrimination can be anything. It can be based on skin color, can be one of the examples. It can be also about your class or status. Skin color can be there because we are speaking about racialism. Okay, so that is one concept. Racism is one major agenda or aspect in society and sociology. Okay, most welcome. So, all right, I think with this, we come up to an end of the terms and concepts in one shot. And I hope, Sonali, I could answer your question, beta. Is there anything I would like, you would want me to answer? Please ask, feel free. And for others, any questions, you can feel free to ask me. Once again, if you take the subscription and if you use my code Urmi Live, you straight away get a 10% discount. So go on my Unacademy profile, Educator profile, and follow me there for all the updates on special classes as well as the plus classes. And I wish you all the very best. Yes, you have one question. Absolutely, beta. Go ahead, please. Feel free. Okay, so you want me to explain you what exactly is stratification? Okay, absolutely, beta, absolutely. Stratification, in the easiest way, you can say different groups. Okay, stratification can be formation of you know people who come from um, formation of hierarchy. Sometimes you can say people who are very rich, poor, higher middle class, coming down to poor again. Okay, sometimes it is about your caste, that Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Shudras, coming down to Dalits, the deprived classes. Okay, so there are four types of stratification. Okay, in which people differ, or identify stratification: slavery, estates, caste, or class. Okay, now what do you mean by class stratification or caste stratification? Simple example: caste basically can be something which can be defined as endogamy. Something can be defined to a hereditary transmission of a lifestyle, which can often include your occupation. That the Brahmins will be farmers, or the Brahmins would be the landowners. Okay, and the people who are from the deprived classes will be the people who would be the hunters, or would be the people who would be um, the ones who would be working as laborers. All these things happened in the previous times in our social stratification. Simply, in easiest words, you can say, is the idea that people are divided into four hierarchies. Hierarchies, okay? Now, where some are deemed more important, okay, and have more power than the others who do not have any power. So, most powerful, least powerful. Social class is one type, gender, ethnicity, age. It can have different ways, beta. You can say that stratification can also have underclass, working poor class, working class, middle class, upper middle class, rich people. That is also known as stratification, but that can be known as social stratification. Okay, so this is the way you can explain it. All right, did you understand the Sam's blog? Okay. No questions, ma'am. All clear, ma'am. Okay. Anything else, beta? Did you understand? All right. Anything else? Anything else? I'm here. Don't worry. Okay. So, guys, most welcome. Most welcome. You're always welcome. Thank you all for joining in. Lots and lots of love. Okay. If you have any questions, or if you want me to take any other subject or topic for you, any other chapter, let me know on the comment section. And I'm going to see you very, very, very soon for the next class on Special Plus and YouTube. All right. So take care of yourself. Stay safe. My regards to you. And bye bye.